All right, so the mission is um, merely not to have Sterling Mind niche down into love, identity. Um, that's not the goal that we're trying to pursue. That's not what we're trying to accomplish. Um, with me doing this right now is, I think of Sterling Mind more of a skill articulation map. Um, Instead of the surface level of trying to resonate with fucking millions of viewers about love and all this shit. It's merely kind of a R&D platform, research and development. Like Sterling Mind is not some little. I mean, it is little right now. We have like over 15K followers. It is still little, but that's not merely the goal. Sterling Mind is not a platform where I could get just express my thoughts. No. I want to become a leader, a more charismatic person, and I could reach millions of people. I really do not care about reaching millions of people. That's not the goal. Okay, I don't want to be just another platform that just can reach to a majority at scale. But what is more than a fucking I think of Sterling Mind as just people might think Sterling Mind is just a platform where you can post quotes down in its most simplest terms. You could do it to post quotes. Okay? That's not the goal ever trying to go for. Okay, we don't want to reach 1 million views and have a lot of people see it, and we don't have a product out. Okay? Sterling Mind is not a regular page. Sterling Mind is kind of the training ground for me to start my entrepreneurial journey. This is only the beginning, even though that we do reach millions of people and we do have thousands of followers. The next goal is not more attention, but the next goal is to convert the attention to revenue. Okay? It's my first event. I guess you could call this like a startup. I don't merely see Sterling Mind ever dying, but ever evolving. Yeah, I mean, to really get at this and to really be this person, this leader, this charismatic, this person that could turn attention to desire and have a mass scale, believe in your idea and believe in your value that you could create for others. That's the goal that we're going for. Okay, we're not trying to break surface level trendy media topics. Simply that's not what it's for. Sterling Mind is the first training ground I have to try to build a product that could change people's lives and ultimately, my life. I truly feel as though I have gotten my breakout, and it will be foolish of me not to pursue this at full scale and take it for granted. I mean, I've been searching. I've been trying to search for something that could replicate this type of feeling, this type of journey, and I finally got it. and I kind of feel bad about it because it's so crazy how we're still at the early stages. I'm thinking Sterling Mind is so little to my dreams, but dream is where it never this big thing. Okay, there's levels to get to this big dream. Okay, and Sterling Mind is the first level that I have to accomplish and conquer. With running this page, I'm getting a lot of knowledge. I'm writing, I'm knowing frameworks of persuasion, how to sell, how to create value, how to create attention. Right now I'm trying to learn how to create this attention into revenue. Okay, this is Sterling Mind is not like I could take whatever I'm learning from Sterling Mind and implement it and kind of engrave this skill set based off a page I've been running. Okay, this little page has taught me so many things that I could transfer in real life. And on top of that, these are things that I aspire to do, and I aspire to be ex-business owner, investor, founder, creator, you know, and I really don't want to take this opportunity for granted. But my thing is, I don't want to be niched down. Sterling Mind has rewarded my creativeness to explain and put language to experiences for love. It's good, but it's not sustainable. You know, it's not sustainable in the long run. You know, I'm gonna tell you why it's not sustainable. Okay, I merely do not care about fucking love. This is not my life pursuit to change people's perspectives about love. I mean, that's what we're doing, but that's not what Sterling Mind is for. I mean, this is not my brand. Even though I did create a brand around love, we are facing troubles. We're not facing troubles, but the threshold and the bottleneck is how do we transition love, the niche of love that rewards me so good with like millions of views, millions of engagements. How do we transition into the things that we're actually passionate about? Okay, I don't like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't care about like trying to be a fucking relationship consultant. Okay, this is not what I made it for. Like, but that's what it's doing. Okay, I could take that route, but I mean, to own a business and to create something meaningful, you have to be passionate about it, and you have to be willing to do it every day. Okay, so there are transitions and phases in life. I did capitalize off that phase of me dating multiple people and learning from the experiences it held, and I turned it into an asset, an intellectual asset, right? But is that my phase that I'm going through right now? And do I care about it? No. I don't care about relationships. I don't care about girls. I don't care about finding love. It's not what it is. Honestly, don't care about finding love right now in this phase of my life. Right now in my phase of my life is just merely just building, keep implementing, keep evolving, right? How can you evolve when you're only getting rewarded for how can you evolve when your creative efforts are only getting rewarded for a specific niche that that you are not currently in? Okay, this is not the phase of my life where so it's hell bent about love and all this. Okay, I think the page is about selling education and selling frameworks. We could do that, right? We could do that, but how do we do it at a global scale and still get the engagement, still get the people to land on our mission? How do we still get people to see value in what we're trying to create at global scale? You know, not just trying to fucking do little shit that you know is good, like short term pleasure. I'm getting to success out of nowhere, but we're not like the hill and the gap of skill is capped. I'm being capped right now, and I don't want my creativity to be stagnative because I have to appeal to a certain audience. Okay, how do we test new ideas? How do we implement new experiences and kind of capture them into creating value? Just like how we were doing with the niche of love and the niche of what we're doing, starting mine, how it started off, how did it take off at first, right? But yeah, I mean, shit. And I think the hardest question is how. I truly think the hardest question is how can we make, like, what is, like, I don't know, like, we came out with books, like, that's cool. Like, if I wanted to be a fucking writer and an artist and I was really passionate about being that, then that would be it. I'm getting rewarded for being a writer and an author and just this figure, this type of person that knows how to articulate his thoughts, right? But I mean, that's so little, you know. If I wanted to double down and become a fucking writer in my life pursuit, and I actually genuinely like fucking writing every day, then I would be big. Then I would do so. I have the platform to do so, right? But I don't think we want to do that. Okay, it's just, and that's the ugly, like, pursuit of things. Like, how can, like, it takes skill to become a writer, and it takes skill to just be this profound author at, like, global scale. But the problem is, what if you're not passionate about it? You know, you're kind of put in a box. I'm still young, so I physically cannot be put in a box, and I'm intellectual enough to identify and to see that I could potentially be put in a box at the early stage. And that's what we're like, this whole thing was not to be a pro at anything, but to be utmost curious, and that's what's been rewarding us. Being the utmost curious, failing, experimenting, doing things, like, while you're young, failing while you could realistically afford to fail. And yeah, I mean, We're taking like Sterling Mind and the Isaiah Sterling brand is just way bigger than what I'm seeing right now. You know, I mean, they have me as the excellent like founder, and I have this visionary idea so big, and this goal so big, bro. Shit's easy. Like, we could do it. It's nothing. Like this shit is merely nothing to me. If I wanted to put that shit, I'll put my mind to anything, and it gets done. You know. So I see Sterling Mind being this, and it might not be even Sterling Mind. It might be way bigger. Like the brand or launching or starting up this company, or starting up this movement might not be Sterling Mind in a couple years. It might be something completely different, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Sterling Mind was never the end goal, the end business. Okay, it was just, I was just using it as training grounds to get to obtain skills that I need for when bigger obstacles come. How can you explain? How can you put out a product if you don't know how to market? How can you put out a product and you can't get attention? How can you put out a product and you can't create enough desire and enough value for people to see and resonate with? How can your language in the way how you put words, how can we do that? You know? And simply, like, Sterling Mind is the training ground for me to learn how to do all that and more. Way more. So, well, I'm not merely taking it for granted. A regular 8-hour work week is not what I'm doing. I find me getting my most work done is when I'm up 6 a.m. and outside, sitting down at the fucking Cherry Valley and figuring out what the fuck do we need to do today, and what problems do we need to solve, and what posts do we need to do to get Sterling Mind to where it needs to be. I'm not gonna say that I found success in it because it's still early. I'm talking about the fact that I'm waking up at 6 a.m. It's been the most sustainable for me. Merely of the fact that I don't have a routine and I don't have a set schedule. Okay? So all this shit is up to me, and you have to take it to the utmost responsibility. Just how you went to school, just how you go to work, just how you do this. When you have enough free time to do whatever, then bro, your 24 hours could be scattered. Okay? So I try to get the work done, and I try to be in that state, waking up at 6 a.m. and going and doing work, getting work done for a minimum of 5 hours, figuring shit out constantly, like no work blocks. Okay? I found this to be the most effective and most efficient, because 6 in the morning, if you think about it, we only get 24 hours in a day. So if I was to wake up said 2 p.m. because I don't have to go to sleep anymore, I don't have to wake up at a certain time anymore. So say if I wake up at 2 p.m. and I say I want to get at least 5 hours of work done, bro, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 7 p.m. The day is merely over, and I haven't got shit done. The only thing I got done was probably the work of 5 hours. right? There's still other responsibilities that I do want to take part in my life. Having a social life, having to go to the gym, having to do this and that, having time to do stuff that's outside of work, right? How can you do that when you're working you're working those hours, that 2 to 7? Like the most things happen socially, and the most things, so it's I think it's better to wake up early in the morning so you have more hours to yourself. Okay, like I think it's a little cheat code. More hours, like the days, like when I was working on Cloud Code, when I was like when I'm working on Cloud Code and I'm building stuff, like it's not enough hours. Like I really think it's not enough. 24 hours, bro. It was a fucking illusion this whole time. 24 hours is so fucking long. This and the third day more day, like this, bro. 24 hours is nothing. After those 24 hours, the day is reset, and it's not like you could. It's not like you could go 24 hours and fucking. It's not like you could do it. It's not like you could have a 24-hour period and that 24 hours funnels into the next day. It doesn't. It resets. Like the shit that you're building, it literally resets from the next day. I don't know how to better articulate that. If you get what I'm saying, then that's what it is. Right? Like waking up at fucking any time I want to is very unsustainable, and I don't have a set routine to get shit done. I mean, my sleep schedule is all over the place. It's fucking terrible. How can we build something and our sleep is not even in right? And we need to think about competition. Like merely you could think of what the fuck you're building and have no competition to it, and you will not get anywhere because you're too comfortable. You're not in a competitive stadium or mindset. Me waking up at 2 p.m. doesn't do anything because I don't have the psychological fucking consequences that a person my age and the same resources I have is merely doing better than me because he's waking up at 6 a.m. and he's getting way more shit done than me. Some people could fucking think that. Some people you could think that you don't have competition because you're doing this pursuit by yourself, and you're like all it is that you don't see. Your circle in your mind, in your proximity is so little that you don't even acknowledge the millions of people and the thousands of people that you're competing against every single day. You think you have an edge at being young, you think you have an edge at being smart, you think it's gonna all work out because you have time? Bro, no. It's not how it goes. Right? We need to set out, we need to be in a competitive state every day. And engrave in our minds what the fuck the brand mission is. Okay? And why we need to be better than other people. To grow faster, to think and choose and to be that first stop shop for everybody. Like implement new ideas, post new things, come out with new products, and you're the first person to do that. Okay? How do we separate ourselves from the other creators that are trying to be like us? Sterling Mind. I mean, I own the fucking niche, right? But my niche is not mine's yet, right? Because there's no hierarchy. Okay, how do we build hierarchy? We come up with more products. Okay, this person is coming out with posts that are generating like millions of views, right? Thousands. But I could do that too, right? And no, I'm saying is I could generate a post that could get 1 million views, thousands of views, 100,000, right? Another person could fucking do the exact same thing. There's no skill in that. The skill is like innovating. That's where we like set ourselves apart and transition and create a hierarchy factor. We're gonna create the hierarchy factor by just implementing it and doing new stuff from other platforms. We're expanding. We're expanding to, like, Sterling Amon is not only a TikTok page. Okay, we're transitioning into Substack. We're transitioning into Instagram. We're merely coming up with podcasts. You know, we're creating way more value. That we're gonna become that one-stop shop for audiences in my niche. Okay, how do we do that? We create more, and we expand on our platforms. Okay, Spotify, we're gonna come up with a new podcast. How do we separate ourselves? We come up with more books. Okay, come up with more books, come up with more products, come out with a intellectual property ecosystem to where we're generating the things that matter and not the fucking attention. We don't care about, we care about attention, but that's not the game we're trying to play. We're trying to win the money game. How do we win the money game? We start expanding, we start getting more people on board, with the vision, more ads, more everything. Super cool.